Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of Monolith. It's a sci-fi, came out in 1993, it's an R, rated R, an hour and 31 minutes. IMDb, because I couldn't find it anywhere else, is 4.5 out of 10, so I'll read the IMDb synopsis. Where's it gone? Two cops investigating the murder of a young boy become involved in a very secret project involving alien life. Needless to say, the authorities don't want them to stick their noses into this. So the director is John Eyres, E-Y-R-E-S, who did Irish Jam. Producer, well, there's 5 of them, but with producer on, we have John again, who did Convict 762, and Jeff Griffiths, who did Irish Jam. Music was by Frank Becker, who did Shrink Wrap. So the cast, well, we have Bill Paxton, who was Tucker, who was in Aliens. Lindsay Frost, who was Terry Flynn, who was in The Ring. John Hurt, who was Villano, who was in Alien. Louis Gossett Jr., who was Captain McCandles, who was in Jaws 3. It was filmed in LA in California, USA. It's also known as The Hard Way in Denmark and Sweden, and The Monolith Experiment in the Philippines. And some trivia. When Tucker and Flynn sneak into Villano's headquarters, actress Sigourney Weaver is brought up. And I've just realised I've got the audio on. No, I haven't. It's brought up. Bill Paxton co-starred with Weaver in Aliens, and John Hurt co-starred with her in Alien. So, there you go. So, it was a request. So, here it is, finally. I've got it on YouTube, so I'll put the link at the end, as I always do with YouTube videos, so you've got that to look at. So I love the music at the start. It's very kind of slight rocky and very poppy. As a woman walking down some stairs and driving a car. Now, like I said, it's on YouTube. There's a little bit missing on the left. You can see with the credits, there's like the words maybe, I don't know, casting, and there'd be just the curve of the sea missing, you know what I mean, that sort of thing. But there's not much. I mean, that's all. So we have this woman. It's a different woman, not the woman who's just walking down the stairs. Driving, she's swerving all over the road, tyres are screeching. Obviously she looks like she's doing fast speed, but we all know she's not. A kid is running now. The music's getting a bit more rocky. Tucker is walking. It's all like literally all joined together at this point, because she's a completely crap driver. She's revving her car all over the pavement, and the little kid is still out running her. It's like, yeah, surely you should be able to floor it by now. And then for some reason, Tucker is faster than the 2 cars. That's right, that's her and the other car. So he basically runs and catches up with everybody. It's like, yeah. Mind you, the cars, Flynn, she was driving as fast as I would probably say about 10 miles an hour. Because the kid was still out running both of them. I love crap car chases. They're awesome. They make you know, and this was within the first 10 minutes, so it was straight into the film, which I thought was good. Now, apparently Flynn is a good detective. Now, how do I know that? Well, she said Katya, that's the woman who was driving after the kid, knew the kid. I could see it in her eyes. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. It couldn't be the fact that she drove all over the city, through alleyway, through fences, cornering him at the fence with a gun aimed at him. No. She could see it in his eyes. Music, though, is effie scene. It's kind of a bit weird, but I suppose that's maybe... When did it come out? Let's say the 90s? Yeah, that's 90s, I suppose. The interview with Katya, right, some dude walked into the Mac's office with sunglasses. Oh, of course, this is John Hurt at this point. And I was like, who's this? And I was like, oh, it's got to be the Feds or the Secret Service, because they're the only ones who wear sunglasses indoors for some reason. You know what I mean? It's just like, is this real life? Obviously, I'm not going to find out. I mean, not in this country anyway. So Villano's got this top-level security. Tucker and Flynn off the case. Right? He's in the shower like you do. And obviously they're talking to each other, but that's beside the point. So, picture this. The guy's in the office with Mag. Says, I'm taking the woman. Goes out. They have a bit of a tug-on-war with Tucker and Flynn because they're moaning about him. How can you take us off the case, boss and all this business. So obviously they take the girl. He buggers off into the shower because he's a bit grimy, so he's having a shower. Flynn walks in, giving them loads of grief. La 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 la. Then we flip over to watching some guys in hazmat suits carrying this coffin type thing from a warehouse. It's the kids inside, right? That's fine, I get that. But then Tucker is literally staking it out in a car. And I was like, how in the absolute hell, for this high security, nobody knows who they are, secret organisation, have you managed to track him down? Surely they would have a head start maybe of an hour or two in front of you. But apparently not. Apparently it was completely fine. Oh, and by the way, Flynn rocks up. How does she know it was there? I don't know, but she knew. And then you kind of think, well, all right, how far away from the car is these two guys, these police, to stake it out? They're about 10 or 15 feet away. At night, with their lights on, I thought, well, duh, in an abandoned warehouse district. Can tell they're really, really good detectives. I'm pretty sure that won't happen in real life. At least I hope not, anyway. Now, like I say, it's a good thing that these other guys, they're top security. Apparently they've got more security than the president, which doesn't really tell you much, to be honest. And then Flynn and Tucker got into the... Sorry, I got teeth. That wasn't a cough, it was an actual real cough. They got into the government's, or the department's main building later on. Now, how did they do this? Did they jimmy open some sort of lock to do some security clearance thing? Maybe they, I don't know, did some hacking or something. No, they just charmed the security guard by saying you look like Sigourney Weaver. I managed to then just walk past them, the security guard, and go in the lift and go into the one and only office. Just happens to be the main guy's office, and I'm assuming this place is bloody massive, right? And they're faced with this high-level computer system that they don't know about. They need access, and Tucker's kind of like stuck, and he's like, well, I have no idea. And Flynn goes, hang on a second. And remember, they're in the department, apparently this is the company, the Department of Historical Research, because that exists. And so, like I say, Tucker's kind of stuck at this keyboard going, I don't know what it is. So Flynn just goes, hang on a second, let me try this. DOHA, which is Department of Historical Research. Boom, she's in. And I thought, as a high security clearance, higher security than president, and your password is the initials of the department you're working? I mean, come on. Really? So, like I say, music's in every scene. I was curious about some soundtrack for some rocky bits. I was kind of enjoying some of these. Now, there's an interesting way to blow up a house. So, whilst they're snooping in a house, right, this bad dude sneaks in and turns on the gas. That's okay. You can assume that he's going to blow it up, because he's standing around outside using the gun with a laser, aiming at the house. You think, cool, yes, you're going to blow it up. So he's aiming it over the house, he's aiming it over Tucker, Flynn notices him. And then he aims at a matchbox. And I was like, it's a good thing that matchbox was there. You imagine if it's a case of, well, I'm just going to zoom in now. Ah, damn, there's no matchbox. What do we do? Well, how about if we aim at the cooker? Could that work? Yeah, let's try that. It's just... my God. So the cops have the best eyesight in the world. And I don't just mean any cops. I mean even the local, police officer. So they're about 50 stories high, as in the building's 50 stories high. You could tell it's huge building, huge and huge, right? And they radioed in to say that there's a dude standing there, right? So Tucker and Flynn just appeared, like you do. And then Tucker went up by the lift to see this guy, which I was like, when he got up there, they were like higher than all the other buildings. I thought, well, that's pretty good eyesight. Bear in mind also, this is at night. So he got up there and trying to like coax this guy down. And then Flynn says, oh, how am I going to get up there? The lift's broken or been taken. I'll use the stairs. So you think she'll be half dead. No, she got to the top and she was like, okay, Tucker, you okay? I'm like, what? Would you be... I mean, if it was me trying to climb up those flights of stairs, I'd be half dead halfway walking up and crawling on the bloody up the stairs. But no, apparently not. I do like the fight scene with Tucker and this bad guy. That was quite good fun. I enjoyed that. And there's a great scene at the spaceship with Flynn, Tucker, and Villano. This is obviously near the end, as it's such. And then the end credits music kicks in towards the end. I'm not going to say what happened at the end, obviously, but it was quite an interesting ending. But when the end credits came in, this music kicked in. I was like, hey, is that not the same music at the very beginning? When she's like walking, when everyone's meeting up with everybody, as it were. And apparently it's called Sweet Innocence by Little Brother. I'm going to have a look for that. It's a good film. I'm giving it a 7. Believe it or not. I liked it. Pardon me, got hiccups. That's all I need. But yeah, good film. I enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of Monolith. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of the film reviews. Quite a lot of sci-fi, so you might be able to find something else you like. Give me your thumbs up if you leave this like this. Like I said, leave a comment below if you've seen this film. I'm pretty sure one person has. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.